If we put all the waste collected in the United States in a line of average-sized garbage trucks, that line of trucks could cross the country, extending from New York City to Los Angeles more than 100 times. The past week, I have been researching recycling and its process. Recycling turns material that would otherwise be waste into valuable resources and is important for the well-being of our environment. We will understand the reason for recycling, what the process is, and how we can all take part in this conservation effort. Recycling was introduced in the 70s, but it has been around for centuries. According to DoSomething.org, the Romans used to melt down bronze and use it. In Great Britain, the residue from wood or coal was used as a base material for building houses and buildings and out of brick. But it wasn't until the first Earth Day in 1970 that people started to really pay attention to the conservation efforts. In the modern era, there was a mass production where products were produced and bought very cheaply. This created a trend where it was made more economic sense to throw away old items and purchase new ones, and created a culture of the disposable goods. Landfill usage peaked in the 1980s due to 150 million tons of garbage that was dumped. But due to recycling, 32% of the waste is removed away from the landfills. Many people don't realize how much recycling saves space in a landfill. It costs millions of dollars to engineer and build a landfill, and it's more than just a hole in the ground, said in an interview with John Mitchell, the Redwood County Environmental Director. Redwood, the county that John works for, has the second highest rates of recycling in the state of Minnesota. Now that we understand the reason that we recycle and the reason that it was developed, let's learn what really happens during this process. There are many things that can be recycled. The general items that are recycled are newspaper, glass, cardboard, plastic, tin cans, aluminum, and motor oil. Each item has a different process that they are recycled. The process of how newspaper, such as the Star Tribune, is recycled is actually quite interesting. According to the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality, the used newspaper is collected and brought to a paper mill. There, the ink is removed by a chemical washing process. A slusher turns the paper into pulp, and the detergent removes the ink. Then the next step is the removal of dirt and tape, and the addition of wood chips for strength. The water is then drained out and mixed, and the mixture is rolled and trimmed and sent to printing plants for tomorrow's news. Bottles and jars, such as this jar that was probably used for jelly, are the most common glass items that are recycled. The glass is collected and brought to a glass plant. At the plant, the machine breaks the glass into small pieces called cullet. The cullet is then blended with silica sand, soda ash, and limestone, and placed in a furnace and formed into molten glass. Tin cans, such as this soup can be very easily recycled. Before you recycle them or they are collected, their tops should be removed and they should be flattened. They are then collected and brought and shipped to a detinning plant. There, a series of chemicals separate, purify, and recover the tin. The tin is dissolved from the steel, drained, rinsed, and shaped into squares. The steel squares are sold to steel mills where they are used for new steel products. Now that we have looked at the process of recycling, let's understand the importance of it. The big question that you should be asking is why is recycling so important and how can I help? According to TogetherGreen.org, about 80% of the trash that is in the world's oceans originates from the sources on land, and that could be washed from streams, from the roadside runoffs. Recycling saves natural resources, landfill space, and energy. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, the benefits of recycling include protection of the United States manufacturing jobs, prevention of pollution from manufacturing new products, the decrease of emissions of greenhouse gases, and the conservation of natural resources. Between 1960 and 2008, the amount of waste each person creates has almost doubled from 2.7 to 4.5 pounds per day. There are now more than 7,000 communities that have instituted a pay-as-you-throw program where citizens actually pay for the garbage that they throw away. So when a household throws away trash, the less trash they throw away, the more money they save from their bills. Businesses are also packaging their products with less packaging. You can help your environment by buying products in a bulk where there are less packaging, and you could also buy products that are reusable. This can be good for the environment and your pocketbook. According to the City of Fargo website, there are 23 drop-off locations for your recyclables here in Fargo. But before you drop them off, make sure that you know which location that you should drop off each recyclable. Recycling is important to our environment's well-being. We have taken this time to understand why we recycle, what happens when we recycle, and how we can recycle. Let's recycle and reduce those lined up garbage trucks from New York to LA.